Masood Azhar lost his family members when India did an attack on Bhavalpur. Don't be surprised that these people will come back to hit against India. There was no political constraint by the leadership of India during Operation Sindoor. It is the water bomb which is a much bigger issue than anything else.
You tell me one photograph, one image. These days, these imageries are from the satellites all over the world. They are this thing. Which shows any Indian damage being done, even a glass pane having been done. I don't know, only our horses will be knowing what's happening this thing, but I'm just telling, they brought out photographs, they wrote this thing, the New York Times, put it this thing, put it very this thing. Only imageries they said 13 air bases of Pakistan now and before 10th May and after 10th May.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all. You're watching Hindustan Times and my name is Aisha Varma. In this episode of Point Blank, we'll be discussing Operation Sindoor, smear campaigns and Pakistan's claims on terror. Joining us to provide us with in-depth analysis is Mr. Shishir Gupta, the executive editor of Hindustan Times. Sir, namaskar. Sir, first things first. When it comes to Operation Sindoor, there have been multiple statements that have been coming out via Indian representatives. One was about political constraints. What is the reality here?
See, what has happened is that after Operation Sindoor, you see senior officials from the armed forces making statements. What you will notice is that the political leadership has not made one statement on the operations. Operations or the so-called losses, not one statement has been made. The statements have been made by armed forces officials at the senior level, and at least two of them, let me say that, have very little or no role to play in the operations that took place. So there was a statement that was made by the defense attaché of India in Indonesia talking about political constraints. Now this defense attaché has nothing to do with Operation Sindoor. He was not even in India when it took place, and the last he came to India was in January for the Republic Day parade when the Indonesian president was the guest. Now let me make it emphatically clear something. There was no political constraint by the leadership of India during Operation Sindoor. The instructions from the Prime Minister who met the three chiefs and the CDS at least 6 times was very clear: do what you have to do. So to say that there were political constraints, no, they were not. The 3 services were given a free hand. It was for them to decide. It was for them to take the action, and it was for them to achieve the results. So all the accountability also lies with them, not the political leadership per se. Right? So to say that there are political constraints, no, they were not. Because let me also say that to you. I would not be wrong when I would say that the Prime Minister, after Pakistan launched the so-called Operation Bunyan al-Marsus, the Prime Minister was prepared for everything. It was the leadership of the armed forces which was thinking twice, not the Prime Minister.
So one of the other statements that was actually made was also that there were tactical issues. What is the reality with this statement?
See, the statement about tactical issues, I'm not really an air warfare expert to tell you that, what could be the tactical issues. But, in every skirmish, war, or in every conflict, in hindsight, everything is 20/20. So you can always say that there were tactical issues. So you sort of look at what has been, what could have been done better, and then you try to change it. And that is exactly what you are looking at. But the fact remains is that, once a terror attack takes place, you respond to a terror attack by saying openly that you will respond, then the enemy is that much prepared. So one should be always prepared that you're going up front. You're telling him on his face that I'm going to attack you, and then attacking also. And you attack within 15 days. So there will be some sort of, there could be some sort of up and downs in this. But at the end of the day, you achieve your military objective, you achieve your political objective, and that is where it all stands.
All right. So beyond this as well, there are these statements that are being made, rumors rather, about whether or not there was a French Rafale that was shot down, not shot down. French intel has also come out to say that China seems to be behind the fact that they're apparently trying to ruin the sales of the jets. What is the truth here?
Aisha, the defense industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. This is mega bucks. So everybody will try and play the other side down. So I'm not surprised when the French intelligence said that actually the Chinese were behind this entire campaign against the Rafale fighter, right? And that the Chinese weapons were better, and the Indian weapons were not really the way, the platforms were not as good as the Chinese. Now this is all part of a narrative. This is all part of creating a perception. This is all part to sort of put the morale down of the opposing country. Rafael, to my mind, performed top class. You can see the result in Bahawalpur. You can see the result in Muridke clearly. And then you can see the result later when other weapon platforms were used to take down the air bases in Pakistan. So it is very clear that the weapon performed very well, and it will continue to perform. Now, why it was done could be because Rafale is being bought by Indonesia.
Okay.
Rafale is being bought in big numbers by UAE. Rafale, a 4.5 generation fighter, is also being bought by other countries. Now, China is looking to export its fighters that is developing. It's in fact even trying to, there are reports that it is actually giving the J-35 to Pakistan, which is a 5th generation fighter. So it's a competitive market. One has to look at that part of it. And believe you me, these people use the social media, use the media to create a narrative saying that the other side thing. One thing you must understand, none of the 3 chiefs, Indian chiefs, have spoken about Operation Sindoor. Right? The political leadership has not spoken. There is a parliament ahead. Let them say what they have to say. Okay, so to sort of, second guess everybody saying this failed, this did well, I don't think so that is the right thing to do it. But China will play a game because China is looking to be the number 1 power of the world.
Sir, speaking about letting people say what they need to say, let's come to the matter of Pakistan.
Okay.
Recently, we have seen, and I want to quote here, this was specifically a statement made by the Pakistani politician Bilawal Bhutto, the son of a former prime minister and president. He claimed that Pakistan would not oppose extraditing, 1, the Lashkar-e-Toiba chief, Hafiz Saeed, and the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, Masood Azhar, to India. Why is he making this statement? Isn't it out of character?
You see, Pakistan, it's not out of character because Pakistan always speaks in folk tongue. So, he's just another ploy to try and say engage India, right? And India will not engage. But there is something larger than this. Okay. You see, what has happened is 2 things. The use of BrahMos missile on Pakistan air bases, that has been a shock to them.
Okay.
Second thing, they have realized the asymmetry between the conventional weaponry that India has and that they have. Third thing, right now they are very afraid. Why are they afraid is because India has said very categorically that it will respond to any terror attack. And with Pakistan being home to more than 40 terror groups, anybody can come up with anything. One must remember one thing. The Jaish-e-Mohammed leader, that is Masood Azhar, lost his family members when India did an attack on Bahawalpur.
Yes.
So this is Murid ke Hafiz Saeed lost his family members. So now this is a religious, ideological and a personal battle.
Okay.
So don't be surprised that these people will come back to hit against India. And for that, they will not ask at least the ISI this time. So the Pakistanis are afraid that tomorrow if something happens, we'll be attacked. Right? One is that. Second thing, which is a much bigger play in this, is the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty by India. Now, that means that the whole Pakistani mindset is now more towards, whether we will get water or not.
Yes.
So that plays into your mind, and that is more damaging than a BrahMos missile or a Rampage missile or a Scalp missile. So you have the cotton crop in Pakistan that is dependent on water, particularly in Punjab and Sindh. Now, if something happens to that and the crop goes bad, and the crops has to be harvested after August, then things will totally change. But what has got into the mindset of the Pakistani populace is that there'll be a problem on water. So it is the water bomb, which is a much bigger issue than anything else. So in this entire thing, knowing that India is conventionally much more superior and dominant, knowing that India has suspended the water treaty, Pakistan has no other options but to sort of, offer peace. Now, as far as I know, Bilawal Bhutto has no say in this because Pakistan right now is a quasi-militarized state, which is ruled by Field Marshal Asim Munir. Right? So, his statements do not make any difference because India will not talk till the time Pakistan stops exporting terror towards India.
So bouncing off of this, and this is my final question to you, the statement that has been made by Bilawal Bhutto, is it not showcasing that Pakistan has the ability to extradite terror outfit chiefs? Is this not enough to put Pakistan back on the FATF grey list?
No, that's a good question, but everybody knows, including the FATF. Including the FATF, everybody knows that Pakistan houses these people. There is nothing new in this, right? Everybody knows that that those who committed the 26/11 massacre are still in Pakistan. Everybody knows Hafiz Saeed is in Pakistan. Everybody knows that Masood Azhar and multiple other terror chiefs are in Pakistan. But you must understand one thing. See, the only person, the only institution that can actually extradite these people who have been the real strategic arm of Pakistan is the Pakistan Army. Pakistan Army for the past 35 years has been using the same groups for targeting India and targeting other countries also. So it is not in their interest to extradite them, because otherwise nobody will work for them. That's where it is. Second thing is, FATF grey list is also, there are technical issues in that.
Yes.
Right? Where you have to sort of, present report and so on and so forth. Then there is a political play also in that. You see, last time when it happened, when he was taken out of the grey list, obviously the Americans played a part in that. Right? This time also, my understanding is that when President Trump met Asim Munir, there were 4 topics that were on the table.
Okay.
One was cryptocurrency. Second was Nobel Prize for President Donald Trump. third was Iran operations, because that time. And the fourth was handing over of ISKP terrorists who were involved during vacation of US Army from Afghanistan. These were the four topics that were principally discussed when Field Marshal Asim Munir met President Donald Trump. Crypto is money, rest are strategic. This is where it is. So that is why it is easier said than done by saying that I will extradite it. And Bilawal Bhutto, to my mind, can extradite nobody.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us and providing us with all of that important insight. With that, it's a wrap, but do stay tuned to Hindustan Times for more.